Picture this. A faint hum ripples through the night, too low to place. A shadow shifts where it shouldn't. A dream lingers, sharp with a place you've never seen. What if these aren't just quirks of the mind? What if parallel worlds, other realities, other versions of us, are brushing against ours, so close we feel the echo? Welcome to the Gloom Codex. I'm your curious observer, and today we're unraveling a mystery tale from 2025, a year where science peers into shadows it can't fully name. Do parallel worlds touch ours? I don't have the proof, but I've got questions, and the universe is whispering back. It's March 23rd, 2025, and the edges of what we know are fraying. Stay with me, let's chase this thread together. The idea of parallel worlds isn't some far-off fantasy. It's been brewing since 1957, when Hugh Everett shook physics with his many-worlds interpretation. Quantum mechanics tells us particles exist in multiple states at once, say spinning up and down, until we measure them and they settle. Everett asked a wild question. What if that measurement doesn't collapse the options but splits them? One reality where the particle spins up, another where it spins down. Every choice, every chance, branching into countless worlds, all as real as ours. It sounded like science fiction back then, but by 2025, it's not just a thought experiment. It's a shadow we're chasing with machines. The Large Hadron Collider at CERN is one of those machines, smashing particles at near light speeds to peak beyond our universe. As of now, it's running at 13.6 trillion electron volts, TeV, and plans for the high luminosity upgrade aim to nudge that higher by the end of the decade. In 2025, they're testing at intensities that could reveal more, hunting for cracks in the standard model, the rulebook of our reality. Some physicists say those cracks might hint at extra dimensions, places where other worlds could hide. String theory gives this a shape. It's a framework that says the universe isn't just our familiar 4 dimensions, 3 of space, 1 of time, but might stretch to 11. 7 extra dimensions, curled up so small we can't see them, could be home to other realities. These aren't vague guesses. String theory's been around since the 1970s, refined by minds like Edward Witten in 1995, who tied it into something called M-theory. The idea is that our universe is a brain, a membrane floating in a higher dimensional space. If another brain drifts close, they might graze, sending ripples we could detect. At the LHC, that might look like particles behaving oddly, decaying into nothing we recognize or popping up from nowhere. As of early 2025, no one's caught that smoking gun, but the data's piling up. Last year, the ATLAS experiment flagged a flicker, something off in a proton collision, a trace that didn't fit. They called it noise. But what if it's a whisper from next door? Reality has fine print. Let's read between the lines. Beyond the LHC, the cosmos itself might hold clues. After the Big Bang, space expanded faster than light, a phase called cosmic inflation, proposed by Alan Guth in 1980. It's not just a theory. The cosmic microwave background, that faint glow from the universe's birth, backs it up with patterns measured by satellites like Planck through 2023. Guth says inflation smoothed our universe, but Andrei Linde took it further in 1983. What if it didn't stop everywhere? What if pockets kept inflating, bubbling off into separate universes? Each bubble, each reality, might have its own laws, its own stars, and if 2 bubbles brush, they could leave marks. The Simons Observatory in Chile, fully operational by 2024, is scanning that background radiation with sharper eyes than ever. In 2025, they're chasing anomalies, swirls or cold spots that don't match the standard map. Nothing's confirmed yet, but theorists like Stephen Hawking and Neil Turok have modeled what a collision might look like. A faint ring, a ripple in the oldest light. Could that be out there waiting to be found? Technology's catching up to these questions, and it's getting eerie. By March 2025, quantum computers are hitting new peaks. Google's on track to push past 127 qubits. their 2023 milestone, with IBM already at 433 in 2022. These machines don't just crunch numbers, they wrestle with quantum states, simulating systems that mirror Everett's branching worlds. At MIT, researchers are pairing them with AI to sift through LHC data, looking for patterns too subtle for human eyes. Last month, the team reported a signal, a low hum in the noise, repeating every 42 seconds. It's not a particle we know, not a glitch they can pin down. They're still debating it. Could be equipment, could be nothing. But it's the kind of oddity that makes you wonder, is something tapping back? When conventional wisdom hits a wall, that's where our journey begins. Let's weave this into a tale, not with made-up towns or vanishing scientists, but with whispers from the edges of what's real. Start with history. In 1901, two English women, Charlotte Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain, visit Versailles. They're strolling the gardens when the air shifts. People appear in old-fashioned clothes. A woman sketches by a cottage. Music drifts from nowhere. They later swear they saw Marie Antoinette's world, not theirs. Their book, An Adventure, published in 1911, details it. Skeptics call it a shared delusion, heatstroke, or bad wine. But in 2025, a physicist at Oxford revisits their story with quantum math. He suggests a probability overlap, a rare moment where two realities might have brushed, thinning the veil. It's not proof, just a hypothesis, but it lingers like a shadow you can't shake. Then there's the Taurid Man, a tale from 1954. A traveler lands at Tokyo's Haneda Airport with a passport from Taured, a country no one's heard of. He speaks fluently, carries currency no one recognizes, and points to a map where Andorra sits. Customs lock him in a room. By morning he's gone, papers and all. It's an urban legend, no official records back it, but photos circulate online, blurry shots of a passport with a strange seal. In 2025, an AI at a Japanese university analyzes those images against global archives. The seal doesn't match anything, not a hoax, not a typo. Is it nonsense? Or a sliver from somewhere else misfiled in our time? The mystery deepens in 2025's labs. At CERN, they're not just colliding particles, they're listening. The LHC's detectors are sensitive enough to catch whispers in the chaos, energy spikes that don't add up. As of now, no one's claiming parallel worlds, but the data's restless. A 2024 run showed a particle decay that broke predictions by 2%, a hiccup they're still chasing. This year, they're cranking the intensity, aiming to replicate it. If those extra dimensions exist, if those brains are close, we might see more ghostly traces, signals that don't belong. Across the Atlantic, the Simons Observatory keeps scanning, and rumors swirl about a faint anomaly, a cold spot sharper than expected. It's not headlines yet, just murmurs in academic circles, but it's enough to ask, are we brushing something we can't name? Sleep pulls this closer to home. In 2025, Stanford's neuroscience team is mapping dreams with AI, real-time scans of your brain at rest. They've been at it since 2023, tracking REM patterns with electrodes and algorithms. Here's what's strange. Some dreams don't fit. Subjects describe places they've never been. A beach with black sand, a city with no shadows, vivid, consistent across unrelated people. It's not a majority, maybe 5% of their sample, but the brainwaves sync in ways they can't explain, like tuning to the same frequency. Carl Jung called it the collective unconscious, a shared pool of human experience. But what if it's more? What if sleep thins the boundary, letting us glimpse parallel lives? No one's proven it. Stanford's data is still raw, but the question hangs there, heavy as a dream you can't shake. History and science aren't the only threads. Nature's whispering too. In 2023, posts on X lit up about oddities. A hiker in Oregon hears footsteps behind him, turns to nothing. A Londoner swears her mirror flickered, showing a face not hers for a split second. These aren't new. People have reported glitches forever, but 2025's tools give them weight. AI can sift those stories now. cross-checking patterns. A team at Caltech's running a project, unfunded, scrappy, feeding social media into a neural net. They've flagged clusters, more echoes in the last year than the decade before. Footsteps, voices, reflections, random, sure, but rising. Is it noise, mass hysteria, or the edges of worlds rubbing ours raw? The tale doesn't end with answers, it ends with us. If parallel worlds touch ours, what's crossing over? Quantum theory says it's subtle. Particles, probabilities, not people strolling through. But the mystery isn't in the math, it's in the shiver when you hear a sound that doesn't fit, see a shape that shouldn't be. Simulation theory ties in here. Maybe our reality's a construct, and those other worlds are parallel runs, their code leaking into ours. AI might catch it. Those machines at MIT and Google humming through data could be the first to hear the overlap. Or maybe it's deeper, in sleep, in the quiet of forgotten graves, where echoes of other selves linger. The Large Hadron Collider keeps spinning, the Simons Observatory keeps watching, and we keep dreaming, each a thread in a tapestry we can't yet see. This is no conclusion, just a doorway. Do parallel worlds touch ours? The science says maybe, the stories say yes, and 2025's tools say we're closer than ever to finding out. What keeps philosophers awake at night keeps our channel running. So what's your piece of this? Ever felt a moment slip, a shadow move wrong? Drop Codex Unveiled in the comments and tell me what you've sensed out there. If this mystery's tugging at you, check the video on your screen. It's another thread to pull. Thanks for wandering with me at the Gloom Codex. The maps we trust most often hide the treasures worth finding. See you when the next question calls.